What's up, guys? I'm back with another mech video today. This one's called the Caribou. The Caribou is basically a walking watchtower from the Wild West. The original design is the brainchild of a fantastic diorama creator by the name of Boylei Hobbytime. There's a link to his build video in the description below, where he basically constructs this out of spare parts and popsicle sticks. Now the model is brilliant and has a ton of character all on its own, but when I see a set of legs like that, I can't help but imagine how this thing would actually move as it walks across a frozen tundra. I was curious enough that I decided to pick it up as my next project. As always, when I'm trying to replicate something, I picked out a few key features that would set the scale for my build. These would be the driver's bench, side door, and the little walkway in between. I didn't have any steering columns available, so my engineer is going to have to steer with cannons. I was very excited to try out the new railings for small grids. They really brought the detail to a whole new level. I cut out a space for the door in the back, and then hopped in to make sure it was nice and cozy. It was then that I realized my engineer was too fat to actually use the walkway. So I made it a half block longer, redid the railing, and then it worked just fine. A couple more rails on the top for safety. And then it was time to recreate the antenna. I decided this would actually be a good spot to put the battery and make use of the detail on that block. Just needed to cover up those pesky green lights. A couple rows of blast door edges on the back made for some nice saddlebags when you look at it from underneath. To start the legs, I built some blocks off of the main body. This made the alignment perfect for when I wanted to push the two pieces back together after making a rotor hinge joint. I then stuffed as many gyros as I could fit into there. For my first leg iteration, I used single rotors and hinges to make the joints, and then spent a solid hour adjusting leg angles and timers in order to get some semblance of a walking pattern. Excited to try it out, I brought it over to the planet, cut it off the sprue, and I watched it crumple to the ground. Thought maybe this was a fluke, so I tried it a few more times. Tried hopping inside and convincing the mech to stand up on its own. Then I went back to redesign the legs again, this time using 2 hinges for the movement power. For legs like these, after you do one, it's really just a matter of copy and paste while renaming some of the components. With a brand new pair of stilts and much anticipation, I brought it back to the planet to see how my hard work had paid off. At this point, I knew my legs were strong enough, so it had to be the walk cycle. I tried speeding up everything by a factor of 2. This one actually made it a few steps. After watching the cycle for a little bit, I thought speeding up some hinge velocities might help. Maybe increasing the leg width for more stability. Maybe I'll just go ahead and ring Clang's doorbell. I tried shear inertia tensor on all the hinges. Alright, that was expected, but it was also the best one yet. So I'll try just leaving it checked on the part closest to the body. And that was it. I always like my walkers to get to a point where they can move without any pilot input. Now that we're here, it just needs some minor tuning to smooth out the strides, because this looks janky as heck. Turns out, the missing piece of the puzzle was to also share inertia tensor on the rotor and hinge for the turret. This made everything in the middle act as one component and got rid of the jiggles. Next, I brought it over to the Tundra and started playing with leg angles to find a nice neutral stance. I also helped the mech discover its inner reindeer. At this point I realized the engineer could just run up the leg and jump onto the back platform. This means I didn't need the base for this winch elevator that I was going to use to get up there. With all the tedious hinge and timer work out of the way, I could start working on some more smaller details. It's really amazing the transformation that happens with a good paint job. I didn't like the look of the solar panel, so after referencing one from the game, I decided to trim the edges a little bit, and then found this disco texture actually works really well. I like to find a sneaky place for the buttons, and this one didn't disappoint. Next, it was time to beef up the legs with some plating and give them a reinforced look. With all the shear inertia tensor I was using, it made turning the mech really difficult with the mouse, so I ended up needing to add a couple of gyros into the body so I could use the override to turn. Works like a charm. After some final touches and a little more paint, the Caribou was complete. It had taken a little more work than I anticipated, but the overall feel now that it was finished was exactly what I wanted. It was a little cabin on legs that was ready to take some engineers on their next journey. I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to check out the short cinematic I made featuring this walker. Also, be sure to drop by Boylei Hobby Time and watch his amazing work. That's all for now, and I'll catch you on the next one.